Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to the new books coming out this Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. I'm going to give you a rundown of all the books on my pull list, things that I'm reading, some variant covers, things like that coming out, give you updates on some major storylines going into comics, and generally things you should be keeping your eye out for when you go to your shop this Wednesday to pick up your new books. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, don't worry, I got you covered. Just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so let's just get right to it and get right into my pull list. These are the top of the pile type books, things that I just can't wait to get my hands on when I get my new books this Wednesday. This week, I have a decent pull list. I don't know if it's quite as large as last week's, but it is still a decent pile of books that I got to get this week, even though overall it did seem like yet another slower volume-wise week. Like not a ton of titles that are of interest, but let's get through the rundown and we'll see what we got. First and foremost, for me, despite the fact that I absolutely hate the renumbering of a new number one, I got to admit, I collect Amazing Spider-Man, so there's no way I'm going to miss out on the next volume starting here. I think this is technically volume 10. We're only 35 issues away from issue 1000 when you total them all together. So why we need to start renumbering now, I don't know. But bound to just get renumbering again once we hit 1000, and then they'll get tired of that and get probably another new number one in another 2 years or so. Seems about right. But here we have new number one, alive and thwipping. Obviously I'm going to get it, so I'm putting this at the top of my pile because it is Amazing Spider-Man. And while I didn't love the end of the last volume completely, I kind of enjoyed the all the Juggernaut Sidorak type stuff. It just kind of went on a little longer than I had hoped. But here we are, new number one with a lot of covers. Here, let's start here with the cover A, which is a wraparound cover. So if you want to see the full thing, here's the full wraparound cover. I think this is by Pepe Larraz. So, yeah, pretty cool. Like it. Ton of villains. It's Amazing Spider-Man after all. We can expect to see probably most, if not all, these villains back very, very soon. On top of this, we do have other covers to talk about. I do like both of these. We got a Simone DeMeo on the other side, and in the middle, we do have a pretty cool Black Cat cover. That's one of my favorites, I think, of the week, but we'll get there when we get there. And considering the number of incentives, I had to kind of break it up weird this week. So these are regular order covers, but we do have some incentives to talk about, like a 1 in 50, which is a version of that cover in the middle, as well as a 1 in 25. But we still had more open order covers like these. I'm going to show you these covers here. We got a Greg Land in the middle. We got an introducing Hellgate character over on the side. And we got another one by Ryan Stegman. I broke these out separately because we have more incentives to talk about, including a second 1 in 50, which is a Hidden Gems cover, as well as a 1 in 100, which is a version of that Greg Land cover. Now, we're going to go back to some more open order covers because we have even more to talk about, including blank sketches, foil editions, and a Liber Mejo there in the middle, which is pretty cool. I like the idea, the angle of looking out at Spider-Man through a window as he's grasping there, stuck there. And then we got a spider on the other side, so they're kind of looking at each other. A lot of folds and ripples and a little loose extra material in Spider-Man, so it looks more cosplay than actual Spider-Man to me, but still a cool look. That said, we're going to take that book, make it a version, and that is our 1 in 200 incentive. That's right. We go all the way up to 1 in 200 for our brand new Amazing Spider-Man number one, which should not surprise us. Now, a lot of covers to choose from. I told you which ones that I liked as far as my favorites go, and I do like the Liber Mejo. As far as the 1 in 200 goes, there's no way I'm paying up for something like that, because even getting close to ratio, that's $200. So that's a lot of money. With that said, we'll see what happens. Plenty of copies will be available of multiple covers out there. There's exclusive covers as well. Who knows where this thing will go? But let's keep it rolling. Sticking with Marvel, Storm. Still a big fan of Storm. I like her as a character. I'm liking this solo series. And this is the 50th anniversary issue event, I guess. So 50 years ago, she made her debut in Giant Size X-Men #1. So let's celebrate that. 50 years of Storm. Can't believe it's been that long. But hey, I'm getting older, as are many of us. Storm's been around a while. But here we have issue number 7, which is Legacy number 18. We just should have picked up regular numbering there. We didn't need a new number 1. We just should eventually just shift on over to Legacy numbering. I mean, we're only at 18 after all. Let's just roll with it. But with that said, storylines continuing here. All these covers are great. Pick anyone that you like. These are all open orders. Pick the one that you think you're a favorite, is your favorite. The one in the middle will be our 1 in 50 virgin incentive. So if you feel like paying extra for the virgin version, you can. I'm not going to, but you can if you want to. Moving on from here, we are now going to where we normally start with the pull list, which is usually I start on the DC side of things, but Spider-Man coming out this week, I felt like I needed to shift up the order. But we are getting another issue of Absolute Batman, which, again, I'm looking forward to. I do like the idea of seeing a new Victor Freeze, and we'll see how we're going to go with that. It's all right. I know it seems like I've been harsh on the Absolute books, but I'm not trying to be that harsh on Batman. It's just there's a few things in here I just really rubbed me the wrong way with the stupid battle axe chest plate and the Batmobile. I just thought that was dumb. That's all. The rest of it, it's okay. Still not 100% on the whole loser friend aspect. When I say loser, you guys remember it, well, the kids. That's kind of what it feels like with Batman and his cadre of villains who happen to all be friends as kids. Seems a little weird. Like, I don't know why they're taking that angle, it seems, with all of the Absolute titles. Like, hey, let's just take the entire history of all the characters, but we'll put them together all at once from the start and just, like, make it seem like they all live in town together. I don't know. It seems weird, right? Is it just me? Was that like a marketing thing that they decided to do for all Absolute titles? Because it's not just Batman. We just started reading Green Lantern, and we went to the Green Lantern town where Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner's the sheriff, and John Stewart's the medic, and Sojourner. Like, so all the Green Lanterns already live in the same town. Like, okay, like where's Kyle Rayner? Where's he work out in this the whole aspect of this? We don't know yet. Point being, it's a weird angle. Not that I'm completely opposed to it. Don't get me wrong. It is a new universe, different universe, but just seems like a strange trend. That's all. With that sidetrack. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. Let's get back on track. Issue 7, cover A. We got a couple other options here for you. We got a B in the middle. We got a Sienkiewicz over there on the side. We got some incentives as well with a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. I'm fine with any of them. I'm probably just going to get the cover A because, it's just cover A. It's fine by me. Why pay the extra buck for one of the B covers? It's unneeded for me. But with that said, got to see how this continues to roll on and go on to one of my favorite reads right now, which is actually on the DC side of things, Green Lantern Corps. I didn't think I was going to like this, but I do. I do like this. I like the Green Lantern. I like the team aspect, and I like them as a group and dealing with big threats like all the former Red Lanterns. I think this is a fun little storyline we got going here. I'm interested to see where it goes. But we have issue 3 coming out. We also got Hawkgirl joining them on this quest. Plenty of covers here. Cover A. We've got B covers there. I think this is by Wilkins. And then we got Zerdy covers. We got a Kyle Rayner cover over there too. We've got incentives as well if you want a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50. Pick and choose which one that you like. I'm fine just with basically any of them, really. I just want to read what's inside because I'm enjoying this one. With that said, let's get on over to Geiger. We're continuing this story of the Glowing Woman. Looking forward to this. I'm enjoying Ghost Machine stuff, as I mentioned. There's only a couple titles I've decided I'm just going to have to let go because I can't get everything. But Geiger is not on that list. I'll keep pulling Geiger. Any of these covers will do. This is the cover A, B, C. Pick and choose. I'll probably just end up getting the A, but you choose the one that you like best and keep rolling on with Geiger, issue 13. Now, last week we talked about the silent issue. We had the facsimile of the G.I. Joe issue 21 silent issue, and then we also had that Beachhead special. There's a handful, 5 one-shots featuring different characters, all doing silent issues as well. This time out, we have Silent Missions Jinx. So there's going to be an issue focusing on Jinx that's silent. And we'll have 3 more after this one. Cover A. Got a cover B option here as well. I can't remember which one I picked. I kind of like B a little bit better than A, but either will do. And then we do have the incentives. The 1 in 10 being a black and white of the A, and the 1 in 25 being framed out, next letter in G.I. Joe. So we had the G, we got the I, we still got the Joe to go. I'll show you the whole thing put together because it is a connecting cover set once we're done. No sense building it out and showing you week after week. Like, here's G and here's I. There's no need. You know how they go together. The G goes next to the I. We'll see what it looks like when it's all done. With that said, that's all we're getting out of the G.I. Joe side of things on the the Skybound Energon universe, but we are getting a new issue of Transformers this week. So keep an eye out for that, as we're going to get What Happened to Megatron, the story that every fan has demanded. You're right. I do want to know what happened to Megatron, and we start a new story arc here with issue number 19. Cover A, well, we have a new story arc starting, so we're going to have extras. So we got a blank here. We got a B cover. Norm, blank, added for the new story arc. But we're going to get a 1 in 100 thrown in to our normal allotment of 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 50. That 1 in 10, David Nakayama, awesome. Starts a whole new connecting cover set as we're starting a new story arc. Makes sense. We'll see how it builds out when we get more. But for now, that's all we got on the 1 in 10. And as I mentioned, since it's a new story arc, they're giving us a 1 in 100 Megatron cover. Really cool. Love the focus, zoom in on the face. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if I can go spending for a 1 in 100, though. I'll probably be fine with the 1 in 10 and a cover A and B or whatever, but, they're out there. If you want to get them, it's out there. Now, before we move on, just a quick reminder, anyone out there who hasn't tried Whatnot yet, now's your chance. Use the link down in the description below. Get yourselves a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. Try out the app. Your first purchase, get $15 for free by signing up down below. Help out the channel. Get yourself something nice. You really got nothing to lose. Now, with that said and out of the way, let's get on back to our regularly scheduled programming and check out the viewer recommendations portion of the show. Now, nobody out there actually made suggestions for this week, which is fine. I still got catching up to do. And speaking of catching up to do, guess what we have on tap for you? It's a little bit of catching up. So, Day of the Dead Girl, number 4. Recommended by Brian Hayes a while back. I tried to order this, didn't get it. Finally got them. Well, I'm not going to show you the other book that I got caught up on, but I finally got my Day of the Dead Girl books. Yep, I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Granted, I only kind of perused to try to get a sense of the storyline because I didn't have time to read all 4 just yet. But for our purposes here, I'll tell you, it was an interesting read. I also didn't catch on that AJ Mendez. I think it's AJ Lee from formerly of the WWE, CM Punk's wife. But 2 covers here on that initial issue 4. You see which one I got. I got this cover here, but there is a cover B option as well if you're interested in that. But I enjoyed it. It's not completely for me. From what I get, again, from the bit that I did read, it's all 4 issues. So maybe once I read the entire storyline, I might feel differently. But perusing through issue 4, I was enjoying what was going on. I could pretty much follow along, even though some of the backstory could have been fleshed out because I didn't get it yet. I'm going to go back and read it now. Let's say it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Like I said, not everything has to be 100% home run for it to be good. It was worth a read. Now, the other book that I'm going to play a catch up on, which is probably still on shelves, is the other book that I finally got in the mail, which was Loose Ends. So I got my issue 1 and my issue 2 finally for these as well, so I could play a little bit of catch up. And as you can see by that thumbs up, I did enjoy this one. I still got to read issue 2. I only read issue 1 to get the taste test of this, out of the way, and I did enjoy it. I like the crime aspect. It seems like it could easily be adapted into a movie, maybe even a little mini series show on something like HBO. But it definitely has the vibe of what they're going for in the vein of Desperado, Swingers, Heat, Reservoir Dogs. It does kind of have that sort of action movie. Comedy action movie kind of setup going up here. Not too silly, but there'll be a bit of humor involved. And I don't know. I'm on board to read more. Still looking forward to getting to that issue 2 next. But with that, this was the cover A. And just as a reminder, still on the shelves. You see the one I got. I got the Reservoir Dogs homage in the middle. And then we got these other options here too, if you were still looking for the loose end, issue 1. So far, 2 issues out right now, so not a lot of catching up on it if you want to give it a try. Now, that was me playing catch-up with the viewer recommendations, and I am open to any more you guys have out there. So if there's things out there that you're reading that are good, you think I should check out, please tell me in the comments down below. I'd love to check them out and see where they're going. Even if it's something that came out recently that you read maybe last month, and you said, man, that was a good read. Throw that out. I don't mind going back because we can still do a still on the shelves sort of look back at it. So it doesn't have to be something upcoming, though I appreciate ones that are coming up. It could be something that you just recently read within the last few weeks. With that said, we're going to move on to my personal taste test. These are recommendations I'm making for myself, things I'm kind of curious about, things I might want to try, things I might want to get back and check in to see how the title's doing, and etc. So I did that last week with Birds of Prey. I said, you know what? It's been a while since I read Birds of Prey. I'm really liking Batgirl right now. Let me take a look in and see how the Birds of Prey title is doing. Maybe I'll like it. And you know what? I actually did enjoy it. I feel like I'm kind of hooked now to see, because this one ends on a kind of a cliffhanger. So we'll see where we're going to go with the next issue. But last week's recommendation was, to myself, wasn't a bad one. I did enjoy it. So might have to play a little bit of catch up to read those issues in between the gap where I left it off. But as far as next issue goes, issue 21, I'm on board to see where that's going. So you might see this one end up over on my pull list because, like I said, I liked it. I did like it. Now, we'll see how this goes with another book for this week that I'm challenging myself to take a look back in on. It's something I used to get on my pull list. I was enjoying the run, the horror angle that Philip Kennedy Johnson was giving us on The Incredible Hulk for a while. But then the slow build towards, issue 800, felt just too slow to me. And as soon as that ended, I was like, all right, I'm taking a timeout. I need a break from the Hulk. So I took a few months off from the Hulk. But now I'm kind of curious. We got Muscle versus Magic. We got Clea showing up here. I don't know. Maybe I should dip back in and see what's going on with the Hulk these days as we start building towards the Incredible Hulk number 25. It's like, pick a lane. We can't do all these weird anniversaries depending on what sort of numbering you want to go on. Because you'd be like, oh, well, if we look back, this is actually issue 100 of volume 3. If we just include volumes 3, 4, and 5. It's just weird. Can't we just go to legacy numbering and just leave it there? Like, I'm sure people understand, collectors understand the Hulk's been around for a while, that yes, they won't know everything, but that doesn't mean, I don't know. It's just frustrating, just not knowing where we are with the numbering. That's all. With that said, I'm still going to take a look at this. So this is the cover A for issue 24, which is Legacy, 805? So it was only 5 months ago. Then we got that connecting cover set, which I'm going to get more into. I actually got some shorts dropping this week to kind of show them off. And it's actually an homage. I didn't realize at first that those connecting covers were an homage to those old 1985 through 87 Marvel Universe official handbook covers. They're straight up, an homage to them, which is cool. I didn't get it at first. I just knew they were a connecting cover set. I didn't realize what they were an homage to, because the vibe of it is different. These is more of a Scotty Young baby type, kind of angle. But that all said, connected cover in the middle. Diwali, I believe, is doing this Infinity Hulk with the Hulk screaming inside his mouth. I really dig this. I don't know. It's just a cool cover. So that's probably going to be the one I get when I go to check this one out. It's probably going to be that one. So just mentioning that and putting that out there. But I think it's a cool cover. With that, the 1 in 50 on here is that blue sketch of that connecting cover set. So if you're getting them, good luck. There are a lot of them, 15, I think, in total. And these 1 in 50s are all out there for them as well. Now, before we move back into our regularly scheduled programming, let's take a quick time out to look at anybody who needs supplies. I get my stuff from BCW. You can use my link to BCW down below, but definitely use my code RENA10 to save yourself 10% off your entire order. Your bags, your boards, long boxes, short boxes, CGC boxes, top loaders, pages for cards, anything you need to keep your comics or collectibles safe, you can probably find a product over there and save money while you place your entire order. 10% off using that code RENA10. Now, going back into the things here, we have Writing It Out next. So, we got my pull list. These are some titles that are technically still part of my pull list, but I'm just kind of seeing them through either miniseries and storyline end, etc. Just things I'm just going to, just keep going. Like, doesn't matter. I'm going to keep going as we're seeing this thing through. Example being, The Moon is Following Us. The reason why I have these things separated is again, this title, I'm just behind on. I'm just issues behind, but you know what? I'm going to get the rest of the run. It doesn't matter. I'm on board. I read enough to know I was enjoying it. I just need to play catch up, eventually get there. But with all these recommendations and the regular reads, you see all the books I got on my list. I don't have a lot of time. So sometimes I fall behind. But I'm still going to get these books, so I'm mentioning it here. Moon is Following is number 8, and thankfully, the synopsis don't spoil too much for me. So it'll still be fresh and new once I get to it. But here's issue 8, cover A, which I really do like, but I believe I'm getting the Bs, which are the Daniel Warren Johnson covers. So I think I'm getting the B cover there with the flying unicorn. But that cover A is pretty cool. I don't know, maybe I should have picked that one, but hey, too late. I already pre-ordered it. But that book, I'm writing it out. I think it's going to go 12. I want to say 12. I'm not sure if it's 10 or 12, but I'm pretty sure it's ending in short order. Also, a little behind on reading the regular Daredevil title. Just am. New story arc's about to start. Maybe I should pick it up right here and go with it to explain why we're going back to the 90s style black outfit. But I like Daredevil, much like my Amazing Spider-Man, Uncanny X-Men run. Doesn't matter. They're not being broken. I'm going to keep picking these issues up no matter what. So, riding it out. Issue 20, cover A. JR cover. Just not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite. But I'll be fine. We've got that. The connecting cover option there in the middle. We've got the TV show, The Art of Television. So you can get your Charlie Cox design cover if you want. And then we've also got that black suit once again as an option over on the side as a variant. There is a 1 in 50, which is the blue sketch version of that connecting cover set. Again, more on that later. But those are our options for Daredevil. Also, in the writing it out section, I mentioned Uncanny is another title. Just going to keep getting it. I'm a little behind. Once again, I've been in and out here, picking and choosing, because, again, I haven't loved the whole From the Ashes angle either. I was hoping for something new, and we're getting something new, but I'm just not 100% on board with what we've gotten either. It's been hit and miss. Some good stuff. Not everything bad. But I'm a little behind on reading Uncanny right now. So, issue 13 is coming out, starting another story arc. I should probably catch up because, again, I just haven't really attached myself to these outliers, the newer mutants that started in this current run. It's just, I don't know. They haven't really like grabbed a hold of me yet. So I think that's also part of it. But maybe after I do a bit of reading, maybe they'll hook me. We'll see how it goes. This is the cover A. We've got the connecting cover in the middle. We got the character design cover there. We got a pretty awesome David Mack doing the Gambit thing. And then we do have some incentives, which are 1 in 50s of 2 of these covers. So we have the Virgin of the character cover, and then we have the blue sketch of the connecting cover set. Pick and choose if you want. I'm probably going to get that David Mack because I like it and I like Gambit. But otherwise, pick whichever cover you like. With that, those are ones I'm definitely writing it out. No matter what, I'm going to get them. They're pretty much an addition to the pull list, but they're different reasons. On the Fence is up next. So these are books that I have been reading that I'm not sure if I'm going to keep up with them or not. They're on the fence. First one, through no fault of her own, Laura Kinney Wolverine. I liked this series when it started, but I've mentioned it before. She is still a female Wolverine, and I've just not been one to really keep up long-term on solo Wolverine stories. It's just, eventually I go, all right. And I don't know. I just eventually tap out. That's all. So I'm on the fence here. We'll see if this storyline with Bucky, Winter Soldier, continues to be interesting. But so far, we're on hold for now. We're on the fence. We'll see how it goes. Cover A here, pretty cool. We've got solid cover B there in the middle, and then another C cover there. If you want to see like the two on their little road trip, yeah, fun. We'll take the one in the middle. That will be our 1 in 50 Virgin incentive. If anybody feels like paying extra, you can. Always a chance one of these Virgin covers like this might pop. I don't think that's going to happen here, but you never know. You never know. But anytime, female Virgin cover, it's always got that opportunity to. I'm just not feeling it, but we'll see what happens. All right. I'm on the fence with Batman Dark Pattern. I've already mentioned how I've been wanting a detective Batman book for a while. Like, I like to see Batman as a detective. I didn't love the first story arc. Wanted to give the second story arc a chance. This is with Scarface. I gave it a chance with the last issue, but it left us off in such a weird place. I gotta read what's next, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm on board for this either. I mean, Scarface being a building was a weird angle to take, but we'll see how it goes. That said, issue 5 coming out, 2 covers. I don't care which one I get. The B cover is pretty cool. I don't know if it's $1 more cool, but it is pretty cool. Option there. I just want to read what's inside to see if this story is going to go anywhere for me. With that said, those are ones I'm on the fence about, not sure. Which logically leads us to our next segment, which is books that I'm out.
I'm out.
What?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of the contest.
Just can't do it anymore. They're just not for me. And it's fine. Not everything has to be for me. Personally, I'm just tapping out. If you're enjoying it, that's great. Put it in the comments below how much of a mistake I'm making. But for now, I just can't keep blindly buying all the Ultimates books. I just not. Just like the Absolute books. I'm not going to keep buying all of them either. But the Ultimates, number 11, I'm just tapping out now. It's just not what I'm looking. It's not what I'm looking for. But I'm not reading the regular Avengers title either. So the alternate universe Avengers really isn't grabbing me right now either. It's just not what I'm up for reading these days. So again, nothing against the title. If it's something you're enjoying, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not what I'm looking for right now. So I'm out with issue 11. But I still want to tell you out there who are reading it and collecting it that you can get the cover A. You can get a B or a C. And there is a 1 in 25 option here as well. That Inhyuk Lee was kind of cool. But once again, I'm not getting any. So it's going to be left on the shelf with these titles. As I mentioned last week, and I started this category out, there's plenty of stuff that I'm not reading that I think we should still all be aware of and we can talk about. Just because I'm not currently reading it doesn't mean we shouldn't look into it. So let's put these left on the shelf books. That's just my personal distinction and classification for them. Doesn't have to be yours. I'm just saying I'm currently not picking up and reading Action Comics. They went weekly there for a while, and I just couldn't keep up. I was just like, nope, just can't do it. I don't think it's weekly anymore, but it's still a book I just can't get back into just yet. But we do have issue 1035 coming out, Arctic Assault. It's kind of cool. Couple covers here. This is cover A. I like the one in the middle, even if he does look like he's got a parachute kind of blowing behind him, or Will Ferrell doing his ribbon dance. It kind of gives me a little bit of that vibe, but I do like it. And we got a C option too with Soups carrying a little kid through the skies. All right, cool. The 1 in 25 is kind of fun with the flying around the Daily Planet. I mean, that's kind of a cool cover, different. You could probably get it for under $10. It's 1 in 25, but a lot of DC incentives. If you look, you can find them at really, really cheap prices if you're interested. So go ahead if you want to get it. But like I said, it's a title that I'm not currently picking up, but those are the covers and the issue coming out. Same thing with Aquaman. Just can't seem to get attached to Aquaman. I've given a series and multiple series tries. He's just not a character that just resonates with me. It gets buried to the bottom of the pile, and then I find myself like 2 issues behind, not reading it, and I'm like, well, why am I buying it? So I'm not. That's why it's left on the shelf. Issue 4. But if it's good, I mean, obviously, tell me if I'm missing out, and maybe I'll give him another shot. But issue 4, we got like a mermaid thing going on here on the cover A. We got David Nakayama option here as well. Looks like he's just surfing on the waves. And then we got a really somber looking look there in the middle. Like, why do I have a starfish attached to my shoulder? He's just sad looking. And then for whatever reason, a crooked ice sword fight by Tyler Kirkham on that one. Definitely not my favorite cover there. I don't know. I just understand why the sword is crooked, but it's crooked in his hand. And it's just weirding me out. And then for whatever reason, it seems like all of the 1 in 25s and incentives they do for the Aquaman book is somebody just chilling out or lounging. It's like, is this really what the angle we're taking? We're just chilling out, hanging out on a stingray. We got other ones where you're just like lying on the beach, just cool. All right. Not for me. Moving on. I have not kept up with this vampires, DC versus vampires, World War V. I mean, this thing goes back a ways. I don't know how many volumes this has been going, but this Elseworlds Tale, I've tried it a little bit. It's kind of interesting. I just can't keep up. I feel just lost as to where we're at right now. So maybe one day I'll go back and read these. But we do have, and again, cool covers. I mean, I do like this Batman on this cover A alone is pretty good. And then we got this option here in the middle, which is really sweet. Batman with a knife on the fire escape. And then we got a Robin vampire there on the side by Puppeteer Lee, but I don't really like that one all that much. The hood for the head's too small. muscles too big for it being Little Robin. And yeah, just things just not working for me. But here's another book. For a while there, I was just getting Spawn. I've talked about it before. I can't remember the last time I've actually read Spawn, but I was getting Spawn for a while because it was drawing the line at $2.99, which unfortunately is going to end very soon. I think come July, Spawn is going to be going up in price. Fortunately, no more $2.99 because of costs, tariffs, and costs. Import a lot of paper gets imported to make comic books, so a lot of things aren't printed here. If you weren't aware, comic book prices could be going up soon for a lot of people, but we'll see how it goes. Spawn is going to be affected in the next couple of months, but I'm just not getting it right now, even though this is a really cool cover. I do like this Bjorn Barron's cover a lot. It does have a cool look to it. And in fact, all the covers for Spawn are usually good. I do like all of these here too. It's just, I can't just keep getting it for no reason. It's just a book that I keep buying and I'm just not reading. So I question why. I need to allocate those funds elsewhere because again, I do have a budget. I'm sure all of us have some sort of budget when it comes to comics. But so this was one I just have to leave on the shelf lately. Same with Phoenix. I never really wanted a solo Phoenix title to begin with. Got a couple here and there, a couple of cool covers. But outside of that, we're going to run out of galactic level threats for her to fight. And I think this title is ending soon. The final battle. So cool. Issue 10, not bad, cover A. And then there's a foreshadowing variant here on the cover B with Phoenix. And hey, look, I guess that's Cyclops. I'm guessing. Maybe not. We'll see. With that, let's leave this here and get on over to one of the few major storylines running across comics right now. Marvel's big event, One World Under Doom. Good thing for us, we're not getting swamped with another handful of books. Last week we had none, which was a nice break, but now we're only getting one book this week. So the one book we're getting is Doctor Strange of Asgard, issue 2. Now, this book is one, if it weren't part of the One World Under Doom, I wouldn't have in this category. I probably would put this book as on the fence. As I read the first issue, kind of interested. We'll see how this goes from here. I'm not 100% on board, but I'm not 100% opposed to continuing and reading this because kind of a fun angle with Doctor Strange and locking up with the Asgardians. But with that, we'll see where it goes as it connects to the One World Under Doom storyline. This is the cover A. Connecting cover, another option there as well. And then we got some incentives, including one of my favorites because it's Dan Panosian, so I'm kind of biased. That Clea on the issue 2 there, that 1 in 25 is pretty sweet. And then the 1 in 50 is a sketch of that connecting cover. So it is what it is. With that said, let's give you all a quick rundown, a reminder where we were. So here we go, going back to January. There's the first 9 parts of our One World Under Doom storyline. And then we've got the next 9 parts. Oh, I guess not 9 parts. Oh, I got it broken up. Sorry, I just got to change it so we don't have all the different transitions as I was adding books each time out. That's why those transitions are there. But there's through parts 18. Then we left off here with 19 and 20. 2 weeks ago. Now we're only adding one more. So there we go. 21 parts. I think there's at least 50 when you count all the tie-ins and the core title. There's a lot. So we are not even halfway through the One World Under Doom event. Still a lot more to come. I'll keep you posted. I'll also keep you posted once we get a next installment of Godzilla vs. Marvel, which we haven't gotten. Maybe they're just doing one a month. I didn't know the release schedule for these, so maybe I didn't need to make a whole category for it. But we got Fantastic Four versus Godzilla, and then we haven't had anything else since. But we are having a few more, I think 4 or 5 more one-shots of different teams and characters facing off against Godzilla, which should be cool. But for this week, no new additions, so we can leave that section there. Let's move on in now to new number 1s. So across all publishers, let's look at the new number 1s. I believe they're all indies, because I think our other ones get filtered out in the other categories here, like Amazing Spider-Man, for instance. So I'm not going to duplicate efforts and put it here again. But with that said, let's go over to Dark Horse first to start with The Great British Bump Off, a new cozy mystery from Giant Days creators. It could be fun if you're into this thing. I mean, it's another Dark Horse book, new number 1. I feel like we get one of these every week or two, but there you go. 2 covers here, cover A, cover B. I'm probably not picking this one up personally, but If it's your cup of tea, if you're reading it, please let me know in the comments down below. Same thing, Vatican City. Kind of intrigued, but at the same time, how many more vampire stories can we do? I mean, we had vampires in baseball. Now we got vampires at the Vatican. Vampires. I don't know. If it's good, we'll see. I just don't know if I got it in me right now to try it. It is Mark Miller, but I don't know. We'll see. Tell me if it's good, because I think I'm probably skipping out the first issue. But there's cover A. There is a black and white version of it, and then there's a cover B option as well. So you got 3 options, all open order. Pick which one you like. With that, let's get on over to Image. We're getting Golden Rage #1. So it's in a world where old and fertile women are deemed useless by society and abandoned on an island. Golden Rage documents their golden years of making friends, baking dessert, and fighting to the death. Okay, it's not an angle I would have guessed, but could be interesting. 5 parts, part 1 starting here. 2 covers, you got a cover A, and you got a cover B. Moving on, Adventure Time. I've never been a big Adventure Time guy. It kind of came after my time. It's in that weird spot. I was too old probably for it, but not old enough to really look back on. I don't know. It just, Adventure Time never connected with me. But I do know of it. I've seen episodes. Could be amusing. I just don't have any real ties or nostalgic feels for the characters. But we are getting a new #1 from Oni, which the last run of comics, there's a lot of really good stuff to keep an eye out for. A lot of good incentives in that, I think it was IDW run. But here we go from Oni. Will it follow suit? I don't know. But we're getting a lot of covers. A lot of covers here. And a lot of text there to try to sell you on picking this up. I mean, it's Adventure Time. Issue 1, cover A. We've got other options here for you too. Boom, sketch covers. We've even got blue sketch covers, and we got David Nakayama covers, and we got other options for you. We'll take those set options. We'll also make them shiny if you want them, because we got foil options for you along with other options. So we got a gold foil Nakayama and a silver foil over on the other side. Tons of options. Look, that's almost like 10 books already, including that's a 1 in 10 incentive. We got more ratios for you if you want them. We got 1 in 20s. We got 1 in 50s, and we got a black and white of that Nakayama as the 1 in 100. A lot of options. Maybe too many. But we'll see how it goes. See if anything grabs a hold of the market. Again, it's Adventure Time. There's a lot of fans. There's a strong collecting group out there who may support this book. Will that lead to any of these popping? I don't know. Maybe. But we have a weird title next. We have Captain Action versus Al Capone Vampire. Some more vampires. And Captain Action now. That's going old school. That's my dad's toys. Like, the big old Mego figures with the replaceable parts. A couple of covers here, 2 for Captain Action. A, B's, and C's. Pick whichever one you like, I guess. If you're down for this, I don't know. I'm probably not, because I don't have any strong ties to Captain Action. Like I said, I know of Captain Action, but a little bit before my time, even. Plus, Al Capone Vampire. It's just, again, with the vampires. Fed enough. With that said, let's get on over to Facsimiles. We still got more to cover here before we wrap up the show for the week. Facsimiles. We got a few. Not a ton, but a few. We've got a classic Superman here. So, Superman breaking through the kryptonite. Everybody knows this cover. If you don't find it, you can't find the original, get yourself a facsimile here. If you want it shiny, we got a shiny one for you. If you want a blank so you can get a sketch, there's an option for you there too. And if you want a pretty cool, imagine if this were a Superpowers action figure, yeah, I think it would be cool. It looks like the Superman action figure I used to have, and you give him the chains to bust out of. Awesome. If you don't like that, how about Star Wars? If you didn't get yourself a Star Wars #1, here's your chance to get a facsimile. Yes, there is a 2019 version of the facsimile you can get that's exactly like this, or you can get the updated version. But with this updated version, we are also getting a shiny foil one, if you want a foil version of it. Or if you're just sick of looking at this cover because you've seen the Star Wars #1 so often, well, I guess we can give you new cover art on our facsimile, which I think is completely unnecessary. But there it is. I mean, it's fun. Yeah, Vader showing up, stormtroopers walking through the door. I get it. It's unnecessary, but here it is. We got it anyway. With that said, for whatever reason, we are also getting a 3D version of X-Men #1. because there's not enough copies of this out there in the world already. Let's look at a 3D version for $15, mind you, for this issue. Yeah, all shaky, blurry. That's not your screen. It's 3D. And it is the gatefold cover. So for your $15, you are getting the full-on, boom, 4-cover set, but in gatefold fashion. Cool. Cool. Moving on from Facsimiles over to later prints. We've got a bunch of second prints to talk about here, but no incentives this week. So we got a break there. Plenty of second prints, all from Image this week. Starting off with Assorted Crisis Events, number 1. I kind of like the detailed work here, like Jeff Darrow-esque. It's kind of fun. If you didn't get the regular issue, here's your chance. Get the second print. Same can be said for these Energon Universe books, which we'll all give you 2 options of. They've been doing this the whole time, so I can't complain about it now. It's a fun idea at first, but it got old pretty quick, at least for me. So, G.I. Joe issue 3, second print cover. You can pick from Stalker, or you can go with the Cobra side of things and get, what was her name? I'm drawing a blank on her name. Chameleon. Pick and choose. We also get issue 4, coming with 2 covers. What's that? I'm drawing a blank on his name. Just the dude who drives the Jeep. Just the guy who just drives the regular Jeep. See, I don't know. You can tell it in the comments down below. I'm just drawing a blank. You got him, or you could pick a Viper. There you go. Because again, we have to have 2 covers for all of these second prints because we got to have a Joe and we got to have a Cobra version. That's not enough. Transformers is doing it too. And they've been doing it for longer because we've got a second print for issue 16 where we've got an Autobot option and a Decepticon option. That's for issue 16. Not enough? Well, let's go on to issue 17 with an Autobot option. Yep, that's the van the kids were driving. And then we've got a B. We had a Decepticon, which is, I can't remember the name of this jet. Was it Ramrod? Car Ramrod? Something like that. Rimshot? I can't remember the name. Again, drawing a blank, but hey, been sitting here for about 40 minutes chatting all by myself, so feel free. Correct me in the comments down below because I need to move on, and we're moving on to the Marvel variants for this month. DC, I don't think I got anything to add for the April month collection of variants, but Marvel, we did get another Iconic by Todd Nauck. Again, these came out like once every couple of weeks to start the year, and now they've come and gone intermittently, some weekly, some take a break. I don't know. I don't know the release schedule or the total scope of these, but we got another one to add to the pile. It's Daredevil in his black suit. Okay. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. We've gotten another set of these Bendis design covers. We had 2 last week. We've got 2 more this week. We got a Hulk on Incredible Hulk, and we got a Gambit on Uncanny X-Men, number 13. So even though I ran through the regular titles already, these are a couple more covers that you can get, but they are the Marvel Capcom Fighter Collection covers, of which we are done for this week with 2 and 2. We've got 2 more next week, 2 more the 23rd, and then 1 more issue on the 30th to finish off that run in April. Continuing on those Marvel connecting covers, I gave this just the Marvel interlocking cover lover because I do like interlocking covers, and I do think these are fun. I'm going to try to figure out a way to show them all to you once we get there. Well, I guess we'll probably do something similar to this. But as things connect, I will show you how they connect. So this week, we've got 4 more to the pile, I believe. We got a Daredevil. We got a Doctor Strange of Asgard. And again, these are all wraparounds. These are all wraparound covers, and they all connect to something on both ends. It's like a weird cycle. Like these will all connect in an unending, never-ending, circle of a connecting cover set, which is kind of cool, kind of tough to think of as a beginning and an end. We're also getting one on the Incredible Hulk and the Uncanny X-Men for this week. Now, some of these of this week connect to each other, and some of them connect with some books last week. We're still missing some pieces along the way. There will be 15 in total, but we've got 8 so far. Of those 8, I can show you this much. We got these 2 for this week snapping together. The Daredevil connects with the Doctor Strange of Asgard. So you can see there with the Cyclops chasing Daredevil, and you got Dazzler, and then Dormammu, and characters moving down the line, Galactus, etc. Then we can kind of shift things on over, and Asgard connects with the Hulk. And you can see, boom, this connects over this way. And we go into the Hulk book. The Hulk book actually connects with a book from last week when we look at the West Coast Avengers. And you can see there how the picture continues to roll as we go to the left or to the right. From there, also of last week, I can show you last week's 2 connecting books as they go here. Now, there's a chunk that connect, but that's only a piece of the puzzle. We still got lots more on the way, and I'll show you how they all go through as we get through them. We're only getting 2 next week, and then we're getting, looks like 4 the week after, and then 1 more to wrap up the month. So, yeah, so we've gotten through, 8? So we got 2, 6, 7 more to go. Yeah, that'll be our 15. Cool. Moving on. Cheesecake covers, which is very light this week. Very light. I think a lot of this has to do with the Dynamite delays. I think some books are getting delayed through Dynamite because of the whole Diamond sale, etc. So with that, some books got delayed a couple of weeks. So I don't got a lot here for you, but I do have a few. We can look on DC, Fire and Ice, When Hell Freezes Over. New mini, spinning out of the pages of Absolute Power. Wasn't that months ago? It was spun a long time ago. Where was this book? What took so long? Terry Dodson cover here on the cover A. This would have been covered in the new #1 section if I didn't have it here in the Cheesecake cover section. But as you will see between these 2 lovely ladies, why we have it in this section, because we've got cover options for you, including a Jeff DeCall and a David Nakayama there with one of his Color Bleed covers. We'll take that Nakayama. We can also make it foil, as well as a 1 in 25 by Kevin Wada, I believe, who did the art on that 1 in 25, which is okay, but I don't understand why Fire's arm is just kind of floating. Like, she should actually embrace her friend, and then I think it would work better, but it just seems like she's hugging a bigger person, and I don't know, and then we just stuck ice in there. I don't know, but those are the covers for that title. We're getting a new Papa Duke issue 2 at a Keen Spot. I just threw this one in here because we have the whole leather gimp driver look for this cover, which was kind of cool. I liked it. The other covers, not so much. In case you want to keep reading that Night of the Cadillacs, they're still building out that universe over there with all the different car gangs. I know I covered it for a little bit, but I've lost interest in getting all of them, so I'm not covering everything. But this cover stood out, so I put it here. And then we also got this Tomorrow Girl cover out of Antarctic. So, Antarctic always has a cover or 2 to throw our way for this segment. So, boom, there you go. And like I said, that's all I got. No Vampies, no Red Sonjas coming out this week for me to talk of. I mean, there's some covers that might have been delayed that might be released, but nothing I could cover here in the segment as new. But we do have other covers to talk about before we wrap up the show for today. So I'm just going to throw you the handful of books that is randomly like the covers, and that's the only reason why I have them here. Starting off with Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. This Mark Brooks cover. I really like this cover a lot. It's a cool, like, retro throwback. It looks like a classic Marvel book. It even has that age quality to it with the distresses in the corners, a little bit of foxing, etc. I think it's a cool look. But other than that, I don't read Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. So this probably would have found itself in the Left on the Shelf segment because I don't read this title, but I do like this cover. And it's not the only one I like. I do like the other cover for this book as well, which is the Kasia Nzemek? I don't know how I pronounce it. You can read it there. But I do like it. I like the back-to-back with the space bubble helmet. Her with the city. Pretty cool look. Star Wars. Trying to catch up and get back into reading Star Wars comics again because I had to tap out for a while. There was just too many. I couldn't keep up with all the High Republic stuff personally. It was just too much content for me to keep up with. But I do like the idea of the Jedi Knights. So we'll see where this goes, but I'm putting it here just for the cover. This is Raza cover. Cool. I like it. I also like the Torin Clark, which is the lightsaber cover with Yoda. I like that. There is a 1 in 100 version of that. We may get a virgin. That option is out there, but I don't know how that's going to do. Star Wars 1 in 100s back in the day used to be money. Now, hit and miss. So we'll see. All right. I think I talked about the Final Fight movie poster homages before, but I had to put this one in here because this Matthew Weldon cover for Mad Gear, it's Final Fight #4. It's with Warriors. You guys remember the Warriors? Warriors come out to play. Like, great movie. Great movie. It's actually also a fun video game too. On I think it was PlayStation 2. It's almost like the concept of the movie made it fit like a video game. You had like different gangs and different sections of a city you had to run through to get back to your home. It was great. Anyway, good movie, good game, good poster. I like the homage, so put it in here. There is a Mark Spears cover this week, but it is only a Returning the Living Dead. I say that as it's only because while these books were hot right out of the gate, I don't know if anybody is clamoring for more, but they're still coming. There's still a couple more coming. This is the cover A for issue 3, and it is a zombie done by Spears. So pick it up if you like it. And then randomly, here at the end, I do have another incentive that I just like. This Christian Ward Batman and Robin number 20. I just like the cover. It's not bad. I don't know. I just like it. So I figured it was worth a spotlight, even though I didn't have a place for Batman and Robin number 20. As far as I put it on, leaving it on the shelf, I'm not reading it, etc. I do like this cover, so spotlighted in that way. Which now will leave us with our final segment, the new final segment of each and every week, which is going to be the best of the week. Now, these are my favorites. Personal preference. Tell me what your favorites of the week are in the comments down below. But these are my favorites of the week. And if you watch my shorts, they pretty much align with those as well. But for this week, my favorite incentive, again, I admit my bias, is the Dan Panosian 1 in 25 for Doctor Strange of Asgard number 2. Clea, cover, it's Panosian, zoomed in on the face. I like it. I like it. So that's my favorite incentive. But we do have another challenger of a sort because we have a regular edition. This is the regular cover that is my favorite of the week. And this is the Nimit Malavia. I showed you it before, the Amazing Spider-Man. Yep, Black Cat. Gorgeous cover, her with the cats. It's just a nice look. I like the trade dress version of it personally because it has the trade dress. It fills in the empty spot. Though, I wouldn't mind the Virgin, which is the 1 in 50 and could have been the variant of the week, in my opinion. But I like the Panosian, and since I like the trade dress fine, I'm fine getting the trade dress. Don't need to go spending up on a 1 in 50, but it is a nice cover here as well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but that's all I got for you this week. So in under an hour, I gave you this week's rundown. So with that all said, I want to thank you for all the support for the show and for the channel. Please let me know and make some recommendations of books I should be reading down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. We are getting closer and closer to my goal of 5K by Memorial Day. So let's see if we can get there. We're almost there. And with that, I'll see you all soon with some more content. All right, later.